So recently I watched a video about how mosquitoes were the greatest carriers of diseases around the world, of diseases such as, let's say, malaria or the Zika virus, yes, or the dengue fever. I'm not really sure, I'm really bad at names, sorry. But basically what this video was about was how we could possibly eradicate these viruses completely. How do we do that? Well, we've got to make sure that those mosquitoes basically just don't carry those viruses around. And basically what I also heard was that what these scientists have done so far is that they've tried to make these mosquitoes immune to the parasites that are the ones that make them be able to carry those viruses. And I think it's called Project Needle Nose or something like that, but they did succeed. They made a group of mosquitoes that were basically immune and therefore superior, I suppose. But the thing about this is that this is like a genetic editing going on here, so it's not exactly a dominant gene. So basically the question arose when I watched that video was, how are they going to be able to make this, how they're going to make this gene like really populate in such a short amount of time? I mean, if we look at bacteria, they can obviously go through binary fusion, so is that the name? Yeah, that's the name, I think. If they can go basically do that and they can represent certain genes like really quickly, you can produce, let's say, the one with the bacterium where there was insulin put in, that could be produced in like a few hours in great populations. But this is an actual more complex organism, so how are we going to make this recessive gene show up really often? Dear God, my battery. How are we going to make this recessive gene show up really often in certain population? If you think about it, let's say this immune mosquito, obviously genes all come in pairs, right? This has a completely recessive one. Let's just call it R. No, let's just call it BB. Okay, BB. They have this, but every time they're going to meet with another mate who has a more dominant gene, let's say AA, then obviously the offspring that they're going to be producing is one with a dominant gene. So eventually this gene is not going to be able to show up well, even though we know about evolution, how like things that are more adapted to the environment are going to survive more better. Loads of mosquitoes are still able to survive with this dominant gene, so in the end it's not going to work. So what these scientists have tried to do is they force a genetically edited mosquito to pair up with one that has a dominant gene if the offspring that is God, it's so hard to explain. If the offspring that is produced has a partially dominant gene, therefore showing the dominant gene, then they would cut out the dominant one and replace it with a recessive one. And this does seem like a long process, but it's the only one that logically makes sense, and I can't exactly think of a shorter way. But I think eventually at one point there will be so many recessive ones that they would be able to show up a lot more in a population, and it would might end up having a higher survival rate, which would end up in more population, stuff like that, more frequency in the population. But on the other hand, what they could have also done is they got one genetically edited organism, they got another genetically edited organism. I mean, obviously this is the clear point that they must have clearly done, and they put them in the laboratorium, and so they would produce a lot of these genetically edited organisms. Genetically modified, that's the name. Genetically modified organisms. I mean, that's how you would make them in great amounts in the lab, and once you release them in the world, how's that going to happen? Well, I suppose that's the theory that I went to before. So yeah, basically I'm babbling a lot right now, and I think this is actually like the 5th attempt I've tried to make this video, and it's kind of failing right now. But I've kind of noticed a difference. I am getting a bit better at explaining, I hope. So yeah, it's an improvement. That was just a little theory, guys. Thanks for watching.